Hello, welcome everybody. This is Doug Bates at Better Results Personal Training on August 3rd. And getting right into the subject matter like they always advise, this is a video about some contradictions, particularly the contradiction of, is that trainer there to help you get guidance on what to do? Is that trainer the person who's going to give you all the habits you need and all the ideas and deliver this great program that's going to get you in shape? Or is that trainer there to put you in touch with the potential you have to develop your own skills, your own ability, your own desire, your own drive, your own capacity, your own gifts? Bring them forth in a way that you can deliver those to yourself. I tend to argue in favor of the latter of those two. At Better Results Personal Training, I find those who have the most longevity, the best outcomes, the greatest ownership and joy and purpose and confidence and eventual skill sets that deliver them towards the outcomes they want and navigate their life properly, become the captain of their own, or the admiral of their own fleet even, as they not only captain their own vessel, but their own business, but then the admiral of their own fleet. In other words, they can help manage others and others' affairs if need be, because other people have trouble with their own affairs. To be that good means you have to have some gifts that come from within, or that come from the grand connection to everything around you, enough that you can, not as a speck, but as the ocean, as an expression, be able to then know what you're looking at and how to best manage and navigate and cope with and interact with, advise or listen, communicate, commune with, separate from, re-engage with, if need be, but preferably not separate, but feel that separation at times because it's functional, in order to then bring forth the outcomes in your life. Whether you're a CEO, an executive, a person running a family, running a business, running your own business, even on the court as an athlete, if you can't do what the rest of the players are doing, good luck passing the ball, knowing who's going to get the rebound and whether you should fast break or not. If you don't know somebody's get the rebound, why are you fast breaking? You may as well get down and make sure your team's got the rebound, or it could be 4-on-5 because you ran down to get the ball and they haven't pulled the rebound yet. Now you're short one in defense. If you don't know what's going on with the rest of the court, you are in the rears. You are not in the front house. And this is the way I deliver. So I hope that this is an enjoying process for you, an enjoyable process for you, because the way I deliver is free flow. I don't sit there and, write a bunch of stuff and spit it back out. I improvise. That's how my workouts go. I recommend my clients do the same thing. Let's take a moment and look at that contradiction. I said the contradiction is, do you wait for the trainer to give you answers, give you protocols, like how heavy should I start? As people ask. What's going to be my first exercise? What's my range of motion? How high do I put the bar? How many reps should I do? If they're spitting out a bingo card every single time, like these biohackers, here's the protocol to follow because I read this on the internet. There used to be bench press programs in the book in the 1970s and 80s, even the 1990s. Here's your bench press progression program for 3 months to get your bench press up. How the F do they know how well you're sleeping, how much cortisol you got, what your digestion's like, what your immune system's like, what stresses you're facing during the day or the week or the month, whether women's menstrual cycles are aligned with that, whether they have someone to care for that's exhausting them, whether their job gives them timing, whether the bench is even free at the gym that day because they have to wait and the tension of getting on that bench press is hard. How the heck would a protocol know all that? Oh, it's a guidepost. That's fine. You can say it's a guidepost. Is the bench press even a good idea? I would argue not. I can bench 385 at 200 pounds. That's a pretty good lift with a pause. 350 for a set of 3 at 200 pounds, drug-free. Bench press is not a great exercise. Oh, I got big. I can do a lot more with dumbbells, better range of motion, better health, better vitality, more mobility with dumbbells that weigh literally 1/6 of that. per hand or less because of better exercise. I had to get outside that box and enter a realm of intuition, which also I use with the data set. Intuition is useful. Interoception, the ability to sense your body, sense what you need. When you're eating food, is it blueberries and oatmeal? Or do you need walnuts and avocado and coconut milk for breakfast and coconut oil for breakfast? Or coconut milk yogurt for breakfast? A high-fat meal or a high-carb meal? Do you need stuff that's full of pigments and anthocyanidins for your brain and for fighting cancer? Do you need good fats to fortify your brain and make cell membranes? If you can't feel the body calling for what you need, you're following someone's protocol where, well, I have this many IUDs. I use IUDs. I use a vitamin D. That's where the D came in. This many I use of vitamin D, international units of vitamin D. This much vitamin E, this much this. Or you need whole foods to get there. Or you need enough sunlight to get there. You know, if I need sunlight, no, the vitamin D is not working. I think I need sunlight. This is the chaos of life. The chaos of life is nothing but information. Is it chaos? No, it's information. It's data. It might feel like chaos if you're overwhelmed by it, in which case you're probably paying attention to too many factors and variables at once. The ability to focus. You choose one radio station, you choose one conversation at a time. So why wouldn't you choose one bit of data in your head at a time as opposed to feeling overwhelmed? Take an op, take a moment of it, and say, I want to listen to 5 radio programs, 5 songs at once. That's a lot. Might manage 2 songs at once, you're in the middle between 2 bands. It's fun. You got a calypso band over here, and you got some other rock band over there, and you like tuning into one or the other. That's fine. That's totally healthy. Tune into this, tune into that. Tune into your own thoughts, tune into nature. If you're walking in nature, oh, that sky is beautiful, next thing you're with your thoughts. Then you go, oh, that flower is beautiful, next thing you're with your thoughts. Then you're with your foot, yeah, your foot feels good, okay, that's great, and then my foot's healing, and next thing you know, you're paying attention to your thoughts again. That's intelligent, going back and forth between 2 things. Listen to everything at once, it's overwhelming. The ability to do that is able to get outside of habits, outside of bingo cards, outside of format, and begin to decide how much to play with in the sandbox. Can't play with everything at once in the sandbox. You got 2 hands. You might own everything in the sandbox. You still only pick up 1 shovel, 1 trowel, 1 bucket. You make this castle first, that castle second. Keep an eye on that castle going so it doesn't collapse. You don't bump into it, knock it over. You did it in the sandbox as a kid. Why is it so hard as an adult? Where kids, it was natural to do one thing at a time, unless you had a befuddled mind because you had too much, what? Usually red dye that we know creates hazard in the brain, chemicals, other chaos, and you can't get along because you're feeling insecure or moody or upset. That's usually damage from something, toxins, poisons, bad environment, stress from parenting, stress from siblings, stress from bullies around you, not makes you feel, what if that guy knocks my castle over? We've all grown up around that. We've all had to mature from that and grow. There's a long video, maybe it's a short video, we don't know yet, we're going to find out. But I will tell you that I was laying in bed the other day and I mentioned to clients, I thought to myself, you know what? What really works is weird. As much as I just criticize the idea of not having protocols and not being overly fixed, I'm laying in bed last night going, you know, for all my will and for all my desire and all my gifts and all my awareness and all my creativity, if I have all those things on my side, and they're all incredibly important things for me to have, again, willpower, desire, appetite, gifts that I have inherent within me, awareness, information, data. Without a good habit, where's it going? Big pause. Why? I just argued in favor of have all those other things. Get your gifts, get your information, get your data, get your will, your desire, your appetite, all up. Without a habit, people have all those things. I say, no, I didn't do that. But I know they thought about it. They had awareness. They had information, data. They knew about it. They had everything. They wanted to get it done. Their desire was there to get it done. They could drive. They come in, they could drive like you wouldn't believe. But it didn't happen. Why? It's not a habit. Without a habit, there's no traction. Because there's no actual action sometimes. Action means it was a habit, you got it done. Well, actually accomplishing the task that you set out, you have awareness, great to have all these things. Without the habit of doing it and habituating it like a martial art through the same motion over and over again, You get into the habit of going to the gym at 6 a.m., get in the habit of getting up at a certain time, get in the habit of eating a certain food, get in the habit. Habits are powerful. I can take a person with no skill, no awareness, almost no gift, give them great habits and they start getting change. Now, the more gift they have, the more change they get with that habit. That means as a trainer, I'm incredibly valuable. If I can, with my awareness, my experience, 35 plus years as a personal trainer, I'm turning 60. Been in this business for a long time, since the late 1980s. It's a long time to be doing one-on-one training. 55,000 one-on-one client hours. I pretty much can gauge what a person might need. I get a bunch of information, ask them questions, gather data, and I say, here's what you might want to do, that's what you want to accomplish, here's what you need to accomplish that. Then I give them some habits to start. If they can follow my habits, guess what happens? They start seeing results because I know what habits they need to get. Here's the vitamin you need. Here's the amount of minutes you might try. Here's the exercise you need 3 times a day to make sure you keep that area active so that you don't have a diaphragmatic collapse. You keep your lymphatics moving. Here's your habit before bed. Here's your time to go to bed. Here's your avoiding too much blue light. If you can't break that habit, here's your compensation for that. Eventually you want to replace that habit with the actual better habit. But here's the habit in the meantime so you get better. I give them habits and they get traction and they make progress. They can be really bad at awareness, really bad at drive, really bad at desire. Okay with willpower, as long as they can get that habit done. They have enough will to get that habit done and they get habits in place and they're not eating the wrong food and they're taking the right organic foods. They're going almost all plant-based or entirely plant-based. Like I'm plant-based. I'm a vegan for 8 going on 9 years. Not bad. 200 pounds, you know, relatively lean, right? Relatively lean, you can see that, right? Relatively lean. What is that? 8% body fat, 200 pounds, 6 foot tall, I suppose. I mean, I'm not competing. I just keep this all the time. But that's because my diet's good. Because my habits are good. My cortisol's not out of control. If you can't get a habit that regulates cortisol properly, keep your HPA, hypothalamic pituitary, again, hypothalamic pituitary right next to each other, right here, real close. Thyroid, adrenal, gonadal, ovarian, testicular connection, communication pathways engaged. If they're not engaged and constantly communicating or near constantly communicating, you will not have good information with interoception. You will not have the best intuition available because you'll be missing somatic components, somatic being of the body, soma, of the body, somatic. If you are not somatically connected, if you're not electrically and hormonally connected, if you're not with neurotransmitters functioning well enough to have all the neurotransmitters, remember, it's not like you have dopamine only, and then one moment it becomes oxytocin, the next one becomes GABA, the next one becomes, norepinephrine. No, they're all there all the time. Spit your saliva out, go get a test. They're all going to show up on that test. Some are high, some are low. In my case, they're all high all the time. I'm redlining these things over the top. They can't measure them because they have lots of neurotransmitters. And lots of neurotransmitters means I have lots to choose from. I'm not saying you should redline your neurotransmitters. I'm saying that some are behind, some below. And it's okay to know which ones are functioning. I have videos on that. And by the way, there's videos on that on Bold Brave TV, on the limbic system, under Get Better Results with Doug Bates. Get Better Results, Bold Brave TV. Look those videos up on Bold Brave TV. That TV station's no longer around, but there's 4 episodes on the limbic system, and they cover that. Meanwhile, back to this conversation, habits are incredibly important, despite the fact that I said running on habits alone is extremely dangerous. I said to one guy, if you're going to sit there like, I always make my bed, and the house is on fire, and you stop to make your bed, you're in trouble. When you're sleeping, you wake up and the house is on fire. You stop to make your bed. That's bad timing. So he was laughing. I like to find preposterous examples because most things we look at them are preposterous. Well, I can't quit eating that food even though it's bad for me. It's preposterous. How has one food got more power than you? Oh, that pizza, I lose control when I see a hot dog or pizza. I lose control when I see alcohol. Come on. Alcohol has more power than your willpower? Something's wrong. It's preposterous to suggest that alcohol has more power than a human being. That's your brain and a dopamine map and your own desire, spiritually or otherwise, to go unconscious. And you're attached to that pattern. If you go, okay, alcohol, my baby's going to get hit by a car. And I need that beer. Oh my God, you'd run to the baby instantly, wouldn't you? You're the baby. run from the alcohol to the child that is you. Run. Do not walk from the alcohol. I'm not having that. Why? It doesn't serve me. 1 alcohol drink a week has been shown to limit the brain. It just takes a while. Gray matter and white matter in the brain. White matter, extremely fast channels. Gray matter, all the processing units. Dr. Daniel Amen will tell you. Dr. Daniel Amen, A-M-E-N. She's got brain scans, SPECT scans. Perlmutter's mentioned it. They're not even fully, I watch what's going to happen with people eating all these animal products. I watch for the dementia to creep in. Now, I'm not saying a vegan diet fixes it, because vegans eat like crap most of the time. When I was an animal eater, and I couldn't get in shape. When I went to whey protein, I won 6 state championships as a bodybuilder, drug-free, despite being a skinny little cross-country guy. I went from 155, 165 pounds, up to 205. Like, how could you be looking that good? I got rid of the animal products. My body couldn't handle it. I was aging. What do? This aging is not going to work for me. I ran from the things that were aging me, like it was alcohol, and go, save the baby, save the child, save the child. And I went, plant-based. I went vegan. I did it 1 meal at a time, 2 meals at a time, 2 days at a time. Pretty soon, okay, now I'm good at it. Now I suck at it, I'm good at it. Because it's a process. First thing not every workout's a home run. The better you are, the better. So my diet's really great right now. Because I've practiced being at it for 8 and 9 years. I've discovered many errors I made when I was first plant-based. I tried plant-based in 1999, 2000. Didn't hit it out of the park. Man, was I uninflamed and flexible and intelligent and alert, and I had consciousness off the charts. Hard to hold by muscle mass. I was relying on some things that weren't perfect. So I went back to some whey protein for a while, off and on. Then I said, okay, now there's tons of data, 2017. Let me try veganism again. Testosterone jumped up. It was already, 750, 850. Then it jumps up to 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. And I'm in my 50s, highest testosterone of my life as a vegan, without high cholesterol levels. The Weston A. Price Foundation people, look it up, Weston A. Price Foundation, they're wrong. They say you cannot have high brain capacity, good hormones, a quick mind, aggressive behavior. You'll be depressed, you'll have no conscience, you'll have no strength, no power. Okay, because I don't have enough cholesterol, it's under 100. Total cholesterol under 100. That's not enough for hormones. Do I look like a hormone to you? Do I get no neurotransmitters? Do I look depressed to you? My last workout, I'm not strong. My last workout yesterday, did a bunch of pull downs. 8 sets of 300 pounds and up for sets of 5 and up. 8 sets of 300 pounds and pull downs with good form. That's ridiculous at 200 pounds. It's insane. Well, I took my time to warm up. What I'm saying is, if it's the case that their theory is right, that you have to eat animal products to have hormones, because you need that cholesterol. They forgot that 80% of the cholesterol on the average person is made by the body alone. And it makes just what you need. Assuming you have the raw materials, which can come from even triglycerides, you can use sugar and you can make fat from that and make hormones from that. I recommend getting a certain amount of good fats, whether it's coconut milk yogurt and avocado. Fern less than FERN, less than instant glass jar. Non-GMO less than phosphorylcholine, phosphorylserine. There's an answer for you. I'd recommend that if you're a client. I'd recommend flax oil. Lots of it. Chia seeds, yes. But you should probably sprout them or at least soak them and grind them. All right. Proof is that you got to probably grind your chia seeds or at least soak them in order to, soaking is bare minimum, right? But they say if they're unground, there less shows up in the bloodstream, less omega-3 in the bloodstream. And it's not just bloodstream omega-3s you want to look at, which they look at all the tests. Oh, your omega-3s are good in the bloodstream. You need to know it at the cellular level in the cell. What's the cell level of omega-3? That's a totally different measurement, and that's what they all miss when they measure omega-3 status. The vegans have the highest cellular level of vitamins, of omega-3, highest cellular level of omega-3, more than the meat eaters because the body absorbs it because they're not taking rancid fish oils. They're eating omega-3 plant-based, and they're manufacturing their own, right, DHA and EPA. And it's in the cell where it belongs, not in the bloodstream, because they took a fish oil capsule. And it's running around, circling the body going, do I absorb this? Do I use this or not? It's usually rancid, has heavy metals, or it's been purified, in which case it could be oxidized or damaged. My recommendation is all plant-based omega-3s. If you want to use ahi flour, not ahi tuna, ahi flour, you can buy that capsule. I don't buy it. I just get my flax oil, my hemp oil. And by the way, cholesterol, it's about 1-to-1 ratio of LDL to HDL. I'll have 45 or 47 LDL and 43, let's say, 47, 45 HDL and 43, let's say, LDL. The HDL will be higher than LDL sometimes. Sometimes it's just the opposite. That's not a bad 1-to-1 ratio. You can't get heart disease because there's nothing to form plaque, nothing to form atherosclerotic plaque, nothing to form sclerosis in the endothelial lining of that artery. It can't form because I mean, it could if I was exposed to alcohol, sugars, bad sugars, not fruit sugars. If I was exposed to chemicals, if I was exposed to things that can oxidize cholesterol, damage my arteries, and then also have to repair. Because your tissues can get damaged by smoke, get damaged by chemicals. When they're damaged, more cholesterol is required for repair, right? So why is my cholesterol level so low? Because I have so little to repair, because I have air cleaners throughout my building. I don't go, poisoning myself. I avoid environments that have toxic air. I avoid toxic foods. I avoid people that smoke, or I wear cotton. I avoid things that are off gas. Therefore, less endothelial damage. Eat some beetroot, keep some nitrous oxide going, keep your endothelial lining really, really healthy. And you have less problems. Those are habits. My awareness tells me those habits are important. I take the blessing of someone asked me on the phone, and we're talking, well, it's a contradiction. Contradiction. To say that you want data and you want to be data oriented and you're relying on intuition and relying on interoception and somatic information. I said no, because somatic information is data. The intuition is data. The interoception is data. My emotions are data. There's no contradiction in that. My feelings are data. It's not like these two things exist separate from each other. The contradiction, again, word contradiction means something is, I always say, appears it couldn't be existent because it's a contradiction. It can't be true, and yet it is. It can't be so, but it is. Which means the word contradiction couldn't exist in the English language unless there were many contradictions, because we refer to them as contradictions. Which means that, yes, I said a brick wall can be both energy and a brick wall at the same time. I am both a human being and I'm energy at the same time. My energy is expressing as a human being, and yet at the same time, I'm a human being expressing energy. Which direction is it? They're both simultaneous. Intelligence, they say a sign of intelligence is being able to hold a contradiction and not feel stressed about it. Literally, you can be in a state of an inherent contradiction. I am literally a walking contradiction. I can say I'm a spiritual being and I'm also physical at the same time. Both are true. Why would I reject one to embrace the other? The insanity when people are picking a side, when the truth is you have so much sensation and information, both, that both things are occurring at once. Sensation and information. You can't reject your right brain for your left brain for your right. The sushumna, the central channel, will be able to make sense of it all. That's why you've got a corpus callosum, and these two sides of the brain talk to each other. And the body talks to the head, and the head talks to the body. And the vagus nerve has 9 signals coming up for every one going down from the brain. The 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, the only one leaving the brain, goes down to everything. I think it reaches my feet. Why? Because I asked my nervous system to make sure it includes my feet. So whatever signals I created by my choice making says, please, when I get information from my body, would you please make sure you somehow gather data from my feet and from my, like that. The areas that it ends at the bowels and intestines. No, I can make sure mine picks up the rest of the stuff. Why? Because I asked my nervous system to become aware, and my brain can tell my body what to do. And he goes, boom, I got it. That's my foot. I like to know I can kick something that's 6 foot tall or higher and go like that, and that's a 6 foot tall. You can't see it. I just kicked it 6'2". There's where I'm hanging. A 6'2" inch kick without standing, and I didn't lean back and give a big tail. I was just like snap kick. Why? Because if I can't kick 6'2" off the top of my head, I'm 6'1", 6'1" for sure in shoes. Something's wrong with my flexibility. Something's wrong with my ability to strengthen my glute, anchor it, and throw the leg up and not fall backwards real hard and keep my balance. If I can't do that, some part of my soma is not able to coordinate that. If I don't know when I'm ready to do that, my body's not got the information to say, well, ready now, ready, good, go. It's like, ready, set, here comes the ball. If you can't read that conversation, you won't hit that ball. If you can't read the person you're talking to, you won't make the sale. You won't help that person who needs help. You'll go, let me help you. They don't want to be helped right now. Why don't you wait till they want to be helped? Look at the customer too soon. You walk up to the little child before he wants help. He goes, I know. No, you wait for the child. Okay, you wait too long, the other child's crying and wants to quit. If your gut is out that bad, and people who eat meat, their gut is out. I can prove it because I've watched it. I've watched it happen to me. Their gut is out. Why? Because even Dr. Jockers will mention, what does he mention? You want to have adrenaline in your body? Eat meat. You want more adrenaline, you want more energy. Berg's the same thing. Eat organs and glands. Eat the animal's organs and glands to get the energy, because that'll fortify yours. Now what? Now you've got adrenaline in your body, because every single membrane, what's fascia? Connective tissue. What's that sausage casing around, right, that's intestine? What's the membrane around an egg? It's fascia, right? When you peel back that shell and that's encasing everything. Every cell has fascia or a membrane. So if I was going to throw something, stab you, run with a chainsaw at you, every membrane go, and flight or fight would kick in as strong as your body is, would kick in, go, we're going to move. The adrenaline kicks in because that's epinephrine. Norepinephrine's in the brainstem, that's in the brain mostly produced. Epinephrine's in the adrenals. And he goes, flight, we're getting out of here. And the body of the animal goes, oh my God, something's hooked my throat. I'm a fish, right? Something's pulling me out of the water. Panic, panic, panic. It registers throughout every membrane on that fish. Every membrane on an animal. It's enslaved. It's depressed. It's anxious. It's getting stabbed. In fact, it's barely alert, but it's still fighting at the adrenal level. No matter what's conscious of the animal, it still knows it's being destroyed. So you can have a meal. Now what happens? Now that same trauma is in your food, registered on the cell membrane, which you eat here. I need bone broth. You don't need bone broth. Flies' butts, you need bone broth. Mosquitoes' butt, you need bone broth. What you need is collagen. That comes from amino acids. Did someone have a brainstorm the other day and realize that you can make vegan amino acids? Yeah, they can make vegan amino acids from a lot of stuff. You can grow them from non-GMO corn in a cistern. That's what body health protein is. Not hard. You can get bottles of glycine. There's 12 amino acids make up collagen. 12. 1/3 of that, 13%, roughly is glycine. You get non-GMO glycine from Now Foods. Big container, 1 pound. I get it pretty cheap because I buy cases of the stuff, and I buy thousands of dollar lots for my clients and myself. So I get it cheaper. You might spend $27 on a bottle of glycine. Pretty wise investment. You don't need to eat bone broth, which is going to have what? All the hormones in it, all the trauma in it, all the abuse in it, karmically what's going on, all the animals raised in captivity, so you can have like a better skin when you can get it vegan? Are you kidding me? You can be mad at me because I'm speaking honest truth. That's a triggered limbic system. Triggered limbic, Limbic. You're mad because the data I get, which is accurate data, is offensive because you don't like what you heard or what was said to you. You don't like the fact that I may have affronted you. That's how you learn. When I criticize myself, I learn by saying, how can I be better? I didn't say, I'm good enough, so help me God, I'll just stay where I am. In 4th grade, are you kidding me? When you're in 4th grade, do you want to become a 6th grader? We can throw the ball like 10 feet. Do you want to throw it 20? We can sprint a 30-second 100-yard dash. Do you want to run a little faster someday? That takes feedback, it takes honest drive, it takes work, it takes practice, and it takes having hunger and drive and the ability to say, I'm not at my best yet. If you're watching the video, you know you're not at your best. If you wouldn't be listening to the video, how do I get better? That's a normal thing. So I'm telling you how to get better. Why would you ever be triggered? Because somewhere you felt offended, somewhere in your soma, about that data made me feel like I was making a mistake. Of course you made mistakes. I've made mistakes. That's what I had to look at. Am I making a mistake? I had to ask myself. Do I have room for improvement? Yes, I do. And I inherently know there's room for improvement near continuously every day. Something I can look at to grow from. Even if it's a day off, you know what I should do? I should have a day where I don't try to do anything but heal and grow and repair. When it happens today, I'm like, I guess I feel really good. I'm ready for more now. Because I made my life so clean that in a half a day break, I'm ready for more. Because I created a life that means I'm not so stressed out, I can't afford 20 minutes or half a day of research, depending how much I want. If I made my life so complex that I have no room to learn, that's a train wreck waiting to happen. You can't even look ahead on the tracks because you're in the moment so much. You can't look 20 yards down the track to go, what's coming up next? You can't look a half mile down the track to know what's coming up next. That train takes a while to stop. If you're stuck in the road where you're like with all the stuff behind you and all that baggage stacked up, and you go, I gotta pull the train. You are not looking down the track, and you are not keeping track of what's in your wagon back there. What do you got in the wagon you don't need? Unburden yourself. Unhitch a few cars. I'm gonna take all that with me. How much you want to take with you? You're gonna full locomotive. You're full. You're confident with it. Make sure you look down that track. I look not only to the workout. I go, well, what about next week? What about 6 months? What about 10 years from now? Where am I going to be 10 years from now? Smart people look 100 years ahead. 100 years. I know when I hit my 60th birthday, what's going to happen. How do I make the next 60 years more successful than my first 60? Hayflick hypothesis says you live to 120 is bullshit because people are already living. They're already over 120 years of age. A woman from France lived 123 in so many days. The Hayflick hypothesis is wrong. You can take one nutrient, in that case I think it was carnosine was the nutrient, added that to the petri dish of stuff they were feeding it. Didn't even change the lighting, didn't give it adaptive capacity, didn't have a spirit or a brain in it. It was just cells in a petri dish. And it's only subdivided so many times based upon our math formula. A computer can tell you that? A computer doesn't have a fucking spirit in a brain. Excuse me. Doesn't have a fucking spirit in its fucking brain. Doesn't have those things. So when you have a spirit, why aren't you using it? If you don't have a spirit, what happened to it? Where's your intuition that comes from outside you? All you got somatic? You got no sense of any guidance from beyond, nothing. I don't even say ancestral. But you can't connect to any idea of anything greater than yourself that might guide you for a moment? Even a thought form? People are inspired by flowers. They're inspired by their animal that they have at their house. Oh, my dog is so inspirational. You know, they're inspired by their kids. They're inspired by the big oak tree that tree that really withstood that storm, and they can't find anything spiritual. You gotta wonder about that. Pretty obvious it exists. So when you start making progress, and you start looking into all these things, there's so much opportunity. So when you go back and you say, well, do I need a habit? Do I need intuition? Yeah, they do. What's he talking about? Everything. Ask my client to bring something up. I go, yeah, that's true, but so is the opposite. In this case, I'd go more in favor of this aspect of it because you've already got the other side covered. Playing the color blue all the time, play the color red for a while. See what happens. You know the color blue? Play the color blue for a while. If you always eat oatmeal and blueberries for breakfast, try the high fat. If it's working, great, don't change it. But if your brain is on deficit and you're eating all the blueberries you need and your brain is still functioning, but hypofunctioning, but still good, but not as great as it is, maybe you need more fat in your diet. Maybe blueberries need to be cleaner because blueberries can have chemicals unless they're organic. Maybe there needs to be something else in there beside them. Maybe lymphatics are blocked and your brain's not draining. Look at lymphatics. There's all of my Better Results personal training page on Facebook or the Better Results website, Better Results Personal Training website. It's a big website. You can scroll through that, look up mind, body, spirit, gut microbiome. Look up posture. Look up skeletal system. Look up injury prevention. Look up flexibility. These are sections in my page or on my website. They're just massively detailed. That almost nobody visits, which is fine. Because it's not my job to give you hunger. It's not my job to give you appetite. It's not my job to give you even a protocol unless you walk in here and say, I think I need a protocol. Okay, let's ask. Do you need a protocol? Sometimes they don't need a protocol. Sometimes their protocol is perfect. They just had mistaken their mindset. I think your mindset is you're desperate. Why don't you relax and enjoy the ride? And their cortisol was ruining their life because they were uptight when they did it. Try intimacy when you're uptight. See how that works for you. It's hilarious, right? If you can't relax and enjoy it, it's going to be really difficult to get nitrous oxide into relaxed endothelial linings. And you can practice breathing all you want if you're uptight when you're practicing breathing. That's not going to help you. Cortisol is related to many factors. There's brainwave patterns, brain chemical patterns, like norepinephrine, epinephrine, versus GABA, oxytocin, vasopressin, things like that, serotonin. If you know what those things are, that's data. I'll walk in, I'm like, what's that person experiencing? Looks like a lot of this. Ask them some questions, they give me data. My intuition and my data come together and give me an answer. Go, sounds like I could try this for a while. It's an experiment. If you haven't learned to experiment successfully, you need more practice with that. Life is a giant research project, in a sense, right? How can you develop your own best outcome? Through experimentation. And learning to get your instrument to work well enough that your experiments are wiser, better, and more successful. If your experiments are not better, wiser, more successful, what are you doing wrong? What would you be doing wrong if your experiments are not getting better and more successful? Did you learn from your past experiments? If you're not experimenting, you haven't put your left brain to work. Oh, I just go with my feelings all the time. I got your feelings alone? Your feelings alone. You don't have a 100-year plan? No, I just go with the flow. I'm in the moment all the time. That's what the Kabbalah wants. Somebody's in the moment all the time. Go with the flow. My emotion tells me what to do. Now you're overly emotional. Now you're running around to, well, my emotion told me this, so I follow my emotion. That's not limbic system emotional intelligence, which is more than just, I know my emotion, I go with it. I call that Midwestern emotional intelligence. They go with their emotion and run with it. No. Emotional intelligence when you say, I know my emotion, I recognize it, now it won't get in my way. I know their emotion. I see their emotion. I see them captivated by their emotion. I see them overwhelmed by their emotion. How are they trapped by it? How is their emotion ruining their life? What's causing their emotion to take control of them versus have a brain that lets them figure out with their emotion how to get a better outcome, because I'm really feeling I want this in my life. That's great. Now how do you get it? By wanting it more. No, not by wanting it more. Want to run as fast as you can. You only run so fast. And I go, oh, I want to run faster. What do you do? Okay, work on my hamstring strength. Work on my my glutes. Work on let's see, the lock in my Achilles. They say helps you run fast, so you can stay on your toes and not have to heel drop. Work on your arm propulsion drive. Work on your core. Work on all this other stuff. That's not emotion. That's thought. That's experimentation. That means applying repeated effort to create a pattern that makes you experiment. How did that pay off? It's not wanting it more. The guy who wants the most win. No, the guy who wins is the guy who managed to get the best outcome. Not the one with the most emotion all the time. Emotion helps. Emotion might drive you to make more decisions. Emotion can be your root in some cases. Other times your root might be intellect. Some are intellectually dominant. They're also possibly at risk because they might not go to their emotion enough. Because again, it's a contradiction. Do you get it? You can't just, I have, all my mind is made up, and I'm going to make my mind control, and they take like Deepak Chopra, and you know Deepak Chopra, and Wayne Dwyer, who died, and Bruce Lipton, and they go, I'm going to de-age because I believe in it. And their belief, they go, my mind and my belief is so powerful. I'm like, you don't look any younger. You look any fitter. What did you apply? What were the experiments you did to make yourself younger and fitter? And then you pick up a biohacks and they practice meditating. I'm like, meditating, if it made you young, nobody would ever die because you'd meditate. I don't want to be dead. Everybody says, I don't want to be dead, and then they're dead. They're aging. How come? Because thinking about it alone does not work. It is not enough. It's important to believe you can. Yes. It's important to think you can. Yes. Then what do you do after you believe and think to get traction in that outcome? We're not necessarily hacking and playing a protocol like I have oatmeal because I read research and the meta-analysis said, the meta-analysis is hundreds, if not thousands of years behind time. I read articles every day and it says, hey, gee, it turns out that positive attitudes are productive. Wow! Did they not say that in the Bible? Did they not say that in ancient times? Did they not say that black seed oil is good for you back in Egyptian times? 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago? Oh, black seed oil. Turns out it has health and can reduce, black seed oil, reduce parasites and things like that in the body. Well, they knew that. It was called cures everything but death. What are you going to die from? If you think you're dying from something, why don't you fix what you think you're dying from? If you're dying from a telomere, not happening. Probably not. If you're dying from parasites, fix the parasites. You're dying from connective tissue, fix that. Dying from poor connection, fix that. Dying from being able to not make a decision, fix that. What are you dying from? You're running around, you're living every day, you're actually living, and you are focused on the dying. That's a bad idea. Why don't you focus on living? Focus on living and do things to keep you alive and make you have more vitality, because vitality, and not just adaptability, but vitality, joy, presence. You don't need a lot of abundance, you need sufficient abundance. Lots of abundance, you might feel overly secure. Overly secure people do not do a lot of work. We feel just enough scarcity to say, I think I got room for more, that keeps you busy, that keeps the mind learning, as opposed to, I'm all fine, I'm good, I don't need any of that. I'll wander off because I'm so confident that my money or my genetics is going to cover me. I got money, my doctor's good, my doctor looks after all my numbers, I don't need that, my trainer knows everything, I don't got to do it, my trainer takes care of that for me. Bullshit. They can't take care of everything for you. It's your job to feel enough scarcity to say, I think I better double check and make sure everything's fine. That doesn't mean double check the door 3 times or 4 times, but you need to make sure the door's locked when you leave, if that's your goal. Do you think your workout was done? Then you're done. Think you got enough food? Then you're done. Think you missed something? Go back, get some more ginger. Go back, get some more turmeric. Too much turmeric? Now you're blocking your iron level. How come? Because I had to research that. How much turmeric? Not too much, but enough. You don't need 12 cups of blueberries a day, but you certainly might have 1 cup of blueberry a day. What kind? Might be wild blueberries, might be another kind. But the blueberries you need are the blueberries you need. Or, if you don't like blueberries, blackberries work, maki berries work, any anthocyanin can work. There's got to be a dozen anthocyanins, black grapes, elderberry juice, tons and tons and tons of it. You can eat eggplant skins for anthocyanins. Come on. I'm not a fan of blueberries. Don't eat blueberries. The person with agility, not just drive, not just, creativity and heart, but the other components makes better decisions than a person with only a couple gifts. Your gifts in your head and your heart, great. Gift in your drive, great. Whatever gift you got, I will recognize that gift. Then find what gift don't you have that we better build, or you better build, or you're a goner someday. I am very honest with my clients. You don't fix that, you'll probably be a goner. That part of the car that does not work will be the part of the car that will make this car stop. Great tires, great suspension, great ignition, great combustion. No exhaust. Your exhaust is pipe blocked. Car stalls every time. Right? Or your wires corrode. Or your battery won't start because your electrical system's off. Or your steering column. Everything's great. No steering. Oh my God, boom, you crash into a wall. No brakes, effed. Right? You better have some freaking brakes, people. You better have some brakes. If you can't stop yourself doing something stupid, you can't know when you want to think, you better put the brakes on and go, stop that. Steer clear of that. If you don't have brakes and steering, I don't care how much suspension you got, how much drive you got, how much fuel you have might help you. With no brakes and no steering, you're screwed. Oh, by the way, I'm not hyper. This is normal. I can turn down or turn it off. If you don't have the go-to channel to do all that, that's okay. You don't need it. I only play it when I have it. If I don't have it, I don't play it. You don't play the cards you don't have in a game. It's dangerous. You might fake it because you're under threat and somebody pulls a gun and you go, oh, you don't want to pull a gun on me right now because my brother's showing up in a second and he's a cop. Oh, so you better get the fuck out of here. Excuse me, better get the fuck out of here. I can't say, because he's going to show up. He's not going to like what happened. And he's going to find your ass. And you go, okay, no problem. I don't mean to take this. So why don't you just run away? And you pull, you fabricate. It's not always flight or fight. You're under stress, you fight or fight. Or fawn, oh, don't take anything. That's all fine. I say fabricate. Make something up. That when you have intelligence and you feel stress, and you feel threat, oh, threat. And my nervous system kicks in and goes, I'm under threat. What's the body do? It panics and runs? No. I go, how do I handle this threat? There's a bull coming. I saw a guy with an elephant charge. He goes like this. He goes. The elephant stops. Puts his hand back down. The elephant starts. Puts it back. The elephant starts. The elephant stops. What's he doing? The guy responded to a charging elephant. Seemed like it was not a CGI thing. With a simple, you don't want to charge me. Okay, he said. The elephant goes, okay, I'm not a threat, but I can, and this sends energy. By the way, there's energy. It's an energy channel, right? Obviously, if you can't feel it, something's wrong with your soma. The elephant has a somatic instrument. Those ears receive. He charged, the ears go out, don't they? And he goes, what am I looking at? The elephant goes, what am I looking at? The trunk goes up and the elephant's ears go out and he goes, what am I charge you? And he goes, oh, wait a minute. I don't need to charge you? And the elephant's ears drop. He goes, I don't feel right about you. Elephant's ears go out and then, oh, maybe not. Okay, and then he walks away. Because these are receivers. If you know what's going on, you get these receivers out. Your receivers receive information. If your soma's broken, if your instrument's broken, you can't receive. If you walk in and I go, you're not judging well. Your receiver's broken. Your instrument is down. That means your GPS in your car is screwed. No matter how fast you drive, you're in the wrong freaking place because you went to the wrong freaking place. My car goes 100 miles an hour. To where? Where are you going so fast? I get the best ride. Really? What's it doing for you? Is it getting somewhere in value? Are you going to a valuable place with your life? Are you going to a valuable place with your life? Are you learning things that make your life richer? I don't mean you can't have income. But for God's sakes, people have got, I got a car, I got this beautiful, and they're unhappy. I can name people in politics like that, I can name Hollywood people like that, and they can't find happiness because they think they can buy it. All their clothes, all their purses, all their cars, all their vehicles, all their wealthy mansions, all their wives they've gone through, all their husbands, all their boyfriends, and they're still searching because they still don't feel that good, okay. Is it not obvious? That's the spiritual game. That's also a mind-body game. I'm okay. I'm good. If you don't have that, because some trauma in your childhood, because you've never found it ever, you never experienced it ever, you might not go find a way to do it. And I work on people to see if they can get to that point where they're foundationally confident and secure. I don't know any trainer can come close to what I do, and I am scary when I say that. Because I walk up people every day, I'm like, that person runs a good program, but man, they are missing the park. They're missing the whole ballpark. Why are they hitting to the stands over there? What about this? What about that? And what about themselves? And why are they even haven't hit the ball? I watch people that are promoted all the time. I have a very few following, I notice that. I don't worry about it. If I become famous, fools will try and correct me. Fools will try and correct me. Because they have Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger syndrome. Might be the last point I make. We don't know. Dunning-Kruger effect. Look it up. Dunning-Kruger. I think it's D-U-N-I-N-G, but it might be D-U-N-N-I-N-G. Kruger. K-R-E-U, I would say. G-E-R. Kruger. Might be K-R-U-E. Doesn't matter. I admit that I don't know how to spell it. But Dunning-Kruger effect means that you get a little bit of information, you think you know everything. I was trained at a 4-point in sociology. My faculty was famous faculty. They had written books. They were like, oh my God, Wisconsin was known for the sociology departments in Milwaukee and in Madison. And I got a 4-point, and they were, you're the highest level student ever come through. They love me. They go for a PhD. And he goes, well, you know what, you're right. You're really good at this, but you wrote a PhD 120-some page paper as a master's thesis. Should have only been 30 or 40 pages. It's a PhD level piece of work. And you're right, you couldn't speak your truth because they won't let you speak the truth. Because once you have to go for tenure, the university will silence you, and you won't have what you want. So I said, why would I go for a PhD? Why would I go forth to be an Oprah Winfrey when anybody would watch me go, he's an insane nutcase? Well, we know what Oprah's doing these days. Was she ever sane? Was she ever not a nutcase? How long ago back before she wasn't a nutcase? And she wasn't giving away cars to make her audience love her. Or securing herself in Hawaii and saying, you know, what she was saying about Lahaina, if you know about the Lahaina fires. I don't benefit from sleepy people. And if there's something from Dunning-Kruger effect, though, here's the point about that master in sociology. As master, I was a 4-point student, and I was at a great university. Everybody at the university with that master, with that department, we all suffer from Dunning-Kruger effect. So I found out what was really going on, and I found a deeper level of knowledge that they did not want to investigate about the nature of sociology in general, and what it's designed to do, and what it's designed not to look at. I can take the fitness industry and say, in other words, I'm saying that we think we're experts until we discover we're not. Fitness, I was Mr. Wisconsin, 6-time champion, and I went, holy crap, I'm aging. Well, that's normal. No, it's not. That's normative. Normative means it happens statistically in a society or in a cohort, a population. Cohort, population, society. Normal, normative. No, what's normal is regeneration. Every day we're repairing things. Every day the body's repairing itself. Every day the body's learning things. Every day the body's cleaning the lymph node. Every day the body's breathing. Every day the body's excreting stuff and getting toxins out. Every day the body's pooping out bad stuff, peeing out stuff that's even still usable because it's keeping as much good as it can. Sometimes it's peeing, pooping stuff out just to get rid of one toxin, but losing good nutrients while you get out the bad stuff because the body had to lose nutrients to get the good stuff out. The good stuff, I mean, to get the bad stuff out. So I mean, one bad thing, like salmonella, all of a sudden I lose all my fluids to get the salmonella out. I'm losing fluids and minerals while I get rid of the salmonella. That's not a good thing. Not all my poop is bad. Not all my urine is bad, but if I have a toxin in the body, you go, gotta pee that out. I'm gonna sweat profusely. I gotta go on one guy. Take Brian Johnson. He's gonna go into his 20 minutes a day in a 200-degree sauna. 20 minutes a day, 200-degree sauna, honest to God, eating a vegan diet, all clean, all organic, and he thinks he needs a sauna? Brian Johnson, you don't need a sauna when you're already clean. You're already clean, what's the sauna for? Come on, Brian. Use your head. He's the anti-ager, right? Spends $2 million a year on anti-aging. I make under 6 figures, and it's 60. But I don't know, I don't bad for 60, considering he's only about 48, 49, right? He's about 49. So I'm like 10 years older, 11, 12 years older, and I'm wondering why I have the same energy, you know, fit, right? And I have paltry money to spend. And I got stress and trauma every day. But I choose to say, okay, how can I gain? How can I learn from that? I keep my life simple because I know I'm going to have stress and trauma. I know my client's going to come in with stress and trauma. I don't need to go add to it. So again, I was talking about your body's healing all the time. The normal thing is healing and regeneration. Healing and regeneration. You can be 80, start exercising, your body starts making more muscle mass. You can be 80, have heart disease, change your diet to a DNO-ish diet, which is not even pure vegan, a DNO-ish diet, and your body starts reversing heart disease at age 80. How the F can't you live forever? Seriously, people. You can make longer telomeres. You don't need a hyperbaric chamber to do it. They now sell H-Bot, right? Very expensive. Your diet with exercise and proper diet should lengthen telomeres. It makes telomeres, takes an enzyme, and now your telomeres are getting longer. The body's nature, by nature, is regenerative. So why is it talking? Because we're told to become old. We're told by the Rock and Roll Cabal, here's an aging, now you fight aging by doing what they tell you. They told you to eat animals. They told you to run to big pharma. They told you to take your wisdom teeth out. They told you to circumcise your penis and cut off all that foreskin. It's in your way. It'll make you... it'll infect women with disease. Come on. We're going to cut their labia off. We're going to cut off our... Oh my God. My eyelash, my eyelids must be causing disease for my eyeballs. Because my lips are causing disease for my teeth because they cover my teeth and my eyelids cover... And the foreskin covers your penis to keep it sensitive and to keep the right sensitivity there and the right amount of what? smooth, soft skin that interacts properly with the inside of a woman's reproductive system. It's not disease because we have a foreskin. It's not disease because we, what? Get loud? Here's a bit of advice. They always get this wrong. Since I'm just going off. Client comes in and we're having this wonderful purging discussion. And a subject comes up that's not germane to the subject. And you could be arguing, for instance. And what do they say, counselors? Don't bring up something besides the stuff you're talking about. Make sure, the counselors tell you, the psychologists tell you, make sure you don't just bring up, well, I don't like when you put the socks on the floor and you don't pick up the hamper, and I don't like the way your breath smells. And okay, that's good. Good information. Bring it all up because it's all in you. It's all stuff. That's why she's arguing about everything else. Or he's arguing. Because they're still suppressing everything else they haven't said. For God's sakes, bring it up. Let them know. You know, when you eat that, your breath smells. You got stuff like you got goop in your tooth. You know, I would like it was better when you did, and just tell me what you, because you can always say no, I don't care. She can say whatever she does, but for God's sakes, don't say you can't. You're gonna bring up everything. Bring up everything. Bring it all up. If they can't handle it, it just means that they're overwhelmed. Bring it all up. Like, okay, that's okay. Well, I'm gonna write these down now because I got 5 or 6 things I'm gonna bring up. Okay, I'll write them all down. I run out of space in my hand, or I get a piece of paper, or I memorize it all. You should be able to bring up anything you want almost any time. If it's an authentic relationship, you don't walk up to the brand new person and go, I find when my first date, here's the problems with you. That would be insane. I'm not saying on a first date, go, I find these 5 things do not fit my motif and my list and my agenda for you. That's an insane idea. You're there to observe, you're gathering data. But you got to live with a person and move in with a person. You got to see them on a routine basis. And the person at work, you might not. The person at work, you can't. You're at work with them. You're stuck in a work environment. But when you're in my case, a gym environment, one-on-one, I want that person free to say anything. You know, I don't like when you're that loud. Okay, thanks. Tell me why. Tell me why. I think you're yelling. No, I'm not yelling. I'm being enthusiastic. I'm being creative. I'm being carefree. I'm being expressive. It's enthusiasm. Nobody ever really complains. It doesn't happen. First meeting, they go, you were loud. Okay, I was loud. Did you say I was loud to you? I start off really quiet, eventually get loud, maybe because I want to know what they take. I start off with, okay, how's it going? What are you doing? You know, first meeting, great. Tell me what brings you in. You know, usually on the phone. 10, 15-minute conference on the phone. Sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes half an hour. I want to know because I don't know what they can take. I don't need them to walk in the door and go, I get filled up in the first 5 minutes when you talk because I can't keep up with you. That will not be a good fit. Anybody at this point in the conversation, 57 minutes in, me talking that fast, are you kidding me? Your brain is working. Your limbic system is maybe going, whoa, that's a lot, but that's interesting. You're 57 minutes in, you're still listening? Wow, that means something's good in your brain. You're able to gain. You're able to find valuable insight. You're able to observe and learn, or observe and contemplate, or observe and whatever you want to call it. Consider. At least observe. In that process, it tells something about you and your intelligence. People that are intelligent are naturally curious and have a, generally speaking, higher aptitude for information and data. If you don't bring at least 110, 120 IQ in here, it's going to be a hard day for you. Because the 100 IQ is actually what used to probably 80. That's my opinion. Okay, I could exaggerate. It might be maybe 90. I do not believe that 100 IQ is that intelligent anymore. No offense to anybody, because I don't believe that's really your IQ. Let me clarify that. 100 IQ is actually fine because you can start there. But take iodine is one nutrient, increase your B12 is one nutrient, increase your B1 is one nutrient, increase your B6 is one nutrient, increase your omega-3 is one nutrient, increase in good clean omega-3, not bad omega-3, not fish oil. Get the toxins out of your brain, get your lymphatic back, get your neurotransmitter built up, and all of a sudden your IQ jumps 10 to 20 points. 10 to 20 points. Just because you decided to not have 100 IQ anymore. And that's IQ, not even EQ. You can have 120 IQ, and if you're dumb as shit in the EQ, you make really bad decisions. It won't matter how high your IQ is. Let's cover that. If you have no agility quotient, you can't move when your emotions go, I feel this all, but I don't know how to move. You have to learn agility is another one. They have a different name. Instead of adaptability quotient or agility quotient, they call it adversity quotient. How well do you handle adversity when someone's dying in your life, or when your job gets crushed and you don't have a job? It's part of emotional intelligence, part IQ. How will you handle extreme stress? I call it adaptability and agility. Because why give it a bad name like adversity? That job failing might be the best thing ever happened to you. Oh my God, I was cast out of a job. Whoa, perfect opportunity to fix something, to find something else. You might have no money for a while, but you go, wow, look how well I did with no money. It means I can actually do well with no money for a while. I can actually figure things out. Feel okay. Money is not who I am. You go back, okay, now I know I'm not money, now I can still have money, it doesn't have to possess me because that's a possession of you. Now you need money all the time to be okay, versus you need money all the time because it's useful, which is you possess the money doesn't possess you. Let's cover that one for a second. I said to the client today, I said a lot of interesting things to clients, and they say it's interesting, so I believe it's interesting. I said, if your body is possessing you because you're afraid they're not looking a certain way, you'd be talking like your hair. Oh my God, I'm telling the person, I hope they like my hair. If my hair out of place, you can't have a contract because you're worried about your hair out of place. If you're like, I hope they notice I'm really fit. I hope they find me attractive. Now that attractiveness or lack thereof might possess you versus I possess attractiveness. I possess hair. It's sometimes I'm more in shape, sometimes my body looks fit, sometimes less, but it's something I possess. I possess it. I possess things. I can sell them or keep them as I see fit. I'm not possessed by them. I don't lose value because I get rid of a car. I lost a car. I'm the same person with a car, without the car. I may have more agility, more mobility, but I can get a new car, or I can take some, or I can buy. But that means the car cannot be possessed by a car. People get possessed by things that they're supposed to own. It's the opposite. You must possess it. The Spirit possesses the things. Things must not possess you. People get it backwards all the time. Yes, you possess a body. You possess a body. You must then look after the body. If it's healthy, it'll actually possess you at times. You go, get up, feed me, go to the bathroom. That's the body system is supposed to tell you what it needs. It's supposed to be on your side, telling you, I'm hungry, I'm tired. You don't go to bed when your brain is tired all the time. Go to bed when your body's tired sometimes. Wait for your brain to be turned off. Some people will not go to bed for a long time. I've discovered that. My body's like, I'm really exhausted. My head goes, I can keep going. And now my body's exhausted, falling asleep, and my head keeps going. I discovered only recently. At 59.8 years old, 59.75 years, that sometimes I actually listen to my head instead of my body. Not too wise. My brain can always go. I'll be laying in bed at night, my body's exhausted, my brain will keep talking. Doesn't mean I should get up and run around, right? So keep in mind, your body can kind of possess you. It kind of ought to. It should take. In fact, if you try and kill yourself, you know what your body will do? You try and it'll make you vomit. You know? Your body goes, don't do that, don't cut me. Your body will say, don't cut me. Your body will say, slow down, you're hurting yourself. Your body's supposed to possess you. Other objects are not supposed to possess you. You see that? So that's the blessing for the day. Know that your body has a voice and power. Your body's supposed to talk to you. It's supposed to give you tons of feedback and demand things of you. I demand you feed me. I demand you get me out of the sun. I demand you give me water now. Demand you stop running. Demand you make a lighter weight that hurts me. I demand you tell the massage therapist to back off, that's too heavy. I demand you tell that man to give you more space because it feels like you're encroaching. Even the man doesn't feel he's steadying your face. I want more space. Okay, I can step back. Right? Whatever it is. It's okay to have a body talk to you. It's certainly, you should heed what the body says most times because, give me beer? Probably not what you need. Give me chocolate? Maybe. What kind of chocolate? Give me more potato chips? Probably not. I want a burger? Probably not. Bacteria can talk to you in position. The cleaner you are, the better your diet, the better your microbiome, the more plant-based you are, the less possessed you are by demons, the more you can trust your body. If you haven't figured out that you might be possessed by demons or by bad spirits or by bad patterns or by trauma or by reactivity or by weird egregore, if you look up egregore, you might not know that you are, I'm a Democrat or Republican. That could possess you. I'm a good person, so I believe in this. What's a good person believe in? Is vaccines accurate? Is a good person being vegan? I tell my client, she goes, I said, you don't have to be vegan. You can't be vegan right now? She goes, no. I go, can you whey protein? She goes, yeah. I go, okay, great, do whey protein for now. She's a good person. She can do whey protein for now. That's fine. She doesn't do what I want, but she is in here to make progress, is she not? you're going to make progress, not stay stuck. I'm not going to do anything to change my diet. Then you may as well leave. Because if you're going to train harder, you need a better diet. Some 20-year-olds might get away with it. But if you're 60, you ain't going to get away with a bad diet. There's a base level of nutrition you need before you're digesting yourself. So if you're low on protein, high cortisol, you're going to digest yourself really freaking fast. And you'll get dementia. And dementia starts 35 years before it shows up, they say. 35 years before it shows up. If there's dementia, what is it? Bad sense of smell. I can't smell anything. Boy, my sense of smell is weak. Also, you become forgetful. You become angry for no reason. You have trouble learning. You have trouble with your emotion. You have trouble sleeping. Those are signs of dementia. Trouble relaxing. That means a sign of an overactive brain. That's inflammation. Inflammation leads to dementia. And the one thing that leads to dementia, cholesterol, plaque, and other forms of plaque, which comes from animal products. So I'll take it right back to the whole thing. Animal product diets will weaken your brain. How do you clean that plaque out? Plant-based diet. But a good one, not the crappy plant-based diets people eat. Crappy plant-based diets people eat are not going to be the answer for you. It's an incredibly clean, incredibly wise, incredibly well supplemented plant-based diet that I don't got to get into right now. You watch my videos on the limbic system. On the third and fourth video, it'll talk about the plant-based diet and what you need. Then you got to go into the next few videos on posture and lymphatics. And when that whole show got canceled, unexpectedly, even by the people running the show, I was like, oh, no more shows? Okay, no problem. I'm still good, I'm still me. I can make content anytime I want, and it wasn't hitting it out of the park because they'd already switched what they call servers, and they couldn't get as many people because they were switching their system for who to market through and how to market it. They'd already switched because that first one wasn't working well. You can be with AI content. What's AI content? You know what AI content is. It's Andrew Huberman's voice chatting on articles that he's given his voice to. It's not his voice, it's a computer voice. Sounds like Andrew Huberman, and you can tell that it's reading articles using an artificial computer voice that sounds like his. There's pictures in the background. It's not Andrew Huberman. And if it was, it's only his brain talking from his experience, which I know is often wrong because he's a human being who has Dunning-Kruger effect and hasn't spent 35 years in the business one-on-one. He's reading meta-analysis of data. Meta-analysis means, oh, here's 120 studies we then group analyze. No, I watch people come in one-on-one and go, what decisions are they making? How are they engaging the challenge of having a bad workout, or having not eaten right, or having skipped a meal, or having had the stress of their relationship, or the stress of their workday, and how do they respond to that stress? Do they make good decisions or bad decisions? How are they navigating that experience? I'm watching their emotional intelligence and their IQ and their AQ all in one. IQ, EQ, and AQ are all on display full-time in front of me for 1 to 2 to 3 hours a week for every single client. Some clients, 5 and 6 hours a week to get here. I watch them for 5 to 6 hours. And you think I can't learn from watching them? I see your, I had this happen at work today, and I can see it. Now, how will you navigate that? Now we go, what is your plan to go back and solve that problem? Do you want to talk about it? Because I've been talking to people, head of epidemiology from Milwaukee County, 5 dentists, 5 chiropractors, surgeons, PhDs in psychiatry, with second degrees in MIT mathematics and engineering. I ask them questions all day long when they're not distracted and they're otherwise open to it, and I gather data. I interview people, not like a bartender where they're drunk. They're sober and they're alert and they're working out and they're high functioning, and we have conversations. I learn from them. You think I'm not going to learn from my clients and see how's that working? Is that fire in there? Can you feel that? Yeah. Is that changing? Yes. If I'm not helping them get it, are you kidding me? Do you think I couldn't learn from 55,000 one-on-one hours of clients in the real trenches of Milwaukee County? Compared to I read a bunch of studies online and I saw patients come in for 15 minutes or half an hour, and I looked at one spec scan and I interviewed them and they wrote on paper what they did and what they experienced, and then they come in 3 months later and do it again, and the doctor has to look at their notes. I look at my notes. I remember those clients and what they did. Well, last time you did that, you noticed you're changing your form. Is that working for you? Yeah, good. Okay, keep going. I mean, their job is to figure out their own workout. Figure out when to start, where to start, how heavy to start, how high the bar goes. I don't run their workouts. That's the whole point. At the beginning of the workout, at the beginning of this video, I said what? They want me to pick how heavy they start? Pick how many sets and reps they do? They should already know after the time they spent here what a workout, it might be push down hold. You just do this until the body starts to alert. Then it might be this, then it might be this. Then I'm doing partial range of motion for a while. They don't have to explain anything to me. They're not here to justify what they do. They're not here to explain themselves to me. They're here to get their own outcome. Use my gym. It's one-on-one. There's their playground. This is their R&D gym. It's their job to make use of it in an intelligent, adaptive, emotionally, intellectually intelligent way. It's my job to mostly stay out of the way until it looks like I'm useful. Occasionally, I'm like, I got an idea for you. You might want to go to Japan like that, and you might go shorter. Oh, shower, yeah, like that. Okay, that works. Oh, I like what you're doing also. I think they both work, but keep in mind it's an option. They go, okay, thanks, I like the option. And they get more option. It's like, what kind of knot are you going to tie if you're a sailor? Oh, I got this, whatever, half shank. Okay, it's fine. Here's another knot. Okay, I know that. There's a new knot for me to try. And now they have new knots to try on. And they have like slip knots and all kinds of things. And how nice. And they have more facility. That's skill set building. If you're not building skill sets, you go to the gym and your trainer's giving you regurgitated programs, you are not moving forward. And you are not taking the helm of your own ship. And what are you headed towards? If the trainer can see the reefs in your life, the trainer can see all the icebergs in your life. Little tiny things sticking up. I go, you know what you're talking about? That sounds like an iceberg. What? That relationship you're talking about, that person you might hire, sounds like they have a lot of stuff might be underneath that. Did you look underneath? No, I haven't. They look underneath, oh my God, I just did a check. The person has this huge background with it. I didn't know that. I'm not going to hire that person. I go, yeah, I had an intuition on that. Because there was a little red flag on top of that iceberg. Looked like it might be. They go, I'm glad you pointed that out to me. I get this really? That sounds. I don't police everything. But I think my client's about to make a big error. So by the way, it's someone who knows you well. Do you want some feedback on that? Are you open to some feedback? Yeah. Here's my thoughts on that. They go, hey, that's good information. For God's sakes, I like learning. I presume you like learning. Now imagine you're tuning in because you're looking for data, you're looking for information, you're looking for something novel. I am not a programmed AI voice. You're not going to run across a bunch of pre-prescribed, templates where something spat out something because it did a literature review on Google and it said, oh, here's the answer for how to train. If you're not intuition, without interoception, where your body either slipped, the AI won't know if you got good sleep that night, won't know how much cortisol you're running, won't know how far along your digestion is. You ate too many beans before the workout. It's going to slow your workout down. That's not a good pre-workout meal, is beans. It's really not. That's fine, before bed, Nuts and seeds before workout, not a good meal before workout, nuts and seeds. Last meal of the day, nuts and seeds makes a lot of sense. Pumpkin seeds before bed, fine. Pumpkin seeds for breakfast, when you work out in the afternoon, fine. Pumpkin seeds right before workout, not so great. Get a zinc supplement, find another source of zinc, another source of copper. Find, fruits high in copper, grasses high in copper. You've got to know what you're dealing with and how fast your digestion works. AI will not tell you that. They don't know how fast we predicted this much transit time required in your transit time is based upon how much cortisol you have and how much hydrochloric acid you make and how much stress you have in your gut and how well you process food. Which relates to how much sleep you got, how much trauma you got, and how much distraction you got. If your paradigm system is incredibly good, you get no trauma, no distraction, you make tons of HCl, your digestion's better. But if your microbiome's out, you're still screwed. Do you see how complex? People go, it's so complex, how to navigate it? By dealing with one thing at a time. Here's your sandcastle. This is what you're focused on right now. This one, don't tip that one over. Don't walk into your other towels you made with the bucket and the trowel. One sandcastle at a time. One thing at a time. Maybe 2 radio stations. Maybe walking and watching the sky and listening to your thoughts. One thing at a time. So I'm going to leave it at that. One sandcastle at a time. Focus on what you're doing. Make it simple. You can always worry about what's going on around you after that one tower is built. One sandcastle at a time. I'm hanging up there. An hour and 15 minutes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye now. Oh, by the way, Better Results Personal Training. Also, Ageless Personal Training on Facebook. Ageless Personal Training on Facebook. Also, Organic Vegan Trainer. I'm sorry, on Facebook. No, it's on Google. Ageless Personal Training on Google.com. Ageless Personal Training. AgelessPersonalTraining.com. OrganicVeganTrainer.com. On Facebook, it's Ageless Fitness Institute on Facebook. Huge Facebook page. Ageless Fitness Institute. Also, Better Results Personal Training on Facebook. Better Results Personal Training. Also, Organic Vegan Trainer on Facebook. Also, The Chakra Guru on Facebook. I have another website coming out. It'll be called YourSelfEmpowermentJourney.com. YourSelfEmpowermentJourney.com. Why? Because people need to know it's their job, it's their journey, not mine. It emphasizes your role and minimizes my role. Aren't you the one watching the video? Aren't you the one having the thoughts? Aren't you the one thinking for yourself? Aren't you the one having your emotions? You're using this video to enlighten yourself, to embolden yourself, to educate, to elucidate. What have I got to do with it? It's your mechanism that you're using to grow. How's that related to me? I'm from expressing myself. You might learn from a tree growing. You might learn from a flower blossom. You might learn that that's a Buddha. He holds a flower, and people go, I get it. Those who got that sermon that day, he just held up a flower. And he says, when you get it, leave. Those who got it, left. They knew that they were like the flower. The flower embodied everything. It's beautiful, it's expressing, now go. What are you worried about? Go forth and be the beautiful expression. I can say it, don't get caught up in the peephole. The peephole. The tiny myopic view. That's what you see through, that's fine. We're people. You get it? People? Peephole. You get it? We're people. We have tiny little views. It's okay to have a tiny view. And the truth is, we're an ocean as that peephole. The Bible says God sees through you murkily in some cases. With some people, me, you would say, he sees through me crystal clear, but still one thing at a time. As a peephole, he sees me as a singular thing, looking at the thing I'm looking at, and he can't, but behind me is the entire ocean flowing through me, connected to the entire ocean. And yet it appears as a peephole. It's okay to build the sandcastle. It's okay to focus on the peephole. Focus on the thing that you see. When you're missing, that's the pee hole. Don't miss the toilet. Right? Women, don't miss the toilet. The stream is there. The ocean's all around you. Don't focus on the myopic only. Know that you don't want to pee all over the toilet seat. You don't want to know that that's the only thing you see, but at that moment, you're focused on not missing the target. Right? With the pee hole, you don't miss the target. With the people, you know you're on target. There's the bullseye. That's the peephole. The people, the lens, the single lens, useful. The ocean can see through a single target. How hard is this? A spiritual path, a spiritual journey. If you can't feel the presence of the entire ocean, something is wrong. And yet for most of us, they cannot feel the entire ocean within them. And that's why they're grasping at possessions. Because they don't feel okay. I'm not okay yet. I'm not okay yet. I need more steroids, more muscles. I gotta have bigger implants. I gotta have more. And if you got them, okay, you got them. You injected lips, okay, you put eyelashes on, you put makeup on. How are you not adequate already? Does the flower put on pants? Does the flower put on fake eyelashes? Does the flower put a bow on its hair? No! The flower is gorgeous as it is. Even a blade of grass is amazing. You're going to dress up your hand for it to be acceptable. Oh, my hand is not acceptable. I got to put rings on it. Got to put special lace gloves. Now my hand's presentable because it's got special lace gloves and rings on it. F and A. Your hand's an amazing thing. Even naked, it's amazing. If you don't feel amazing when you're naked, something went wrong. You should feel amazing when you're naked. The problem is people can't handle it. Why? Because we aren't spiritual enough to handle the fact that we're amazing. We're amazing. We not only are amazing, we amaze. Wow, look at that. Look at how complex. Look how beautiful. Look how abundant. If you don't feel beautiful, amazing, and abundant, something's wrong with you, and that's okay to admit because that's data. Now go back. In fact, you admit it's okay to admit that you have room for growth. That's why you're on the internet right now seeking how can you get better. If you weren't thinking you could get better, you wouldn't have watched the video this far. You wouldn't be going, what is this ranting apparent lunatic who's not? By the way, lunatic means associated with the moon versus the sun. The sun is astringent and drying, and the moon is a less harsh light and more moistening and cooling. Doesn't make it insane. It's just less glaring, a calmer, lighter light. The sun and moon both exist. They're polarities. The moon, with the full moon, can lift the tide. Beautiful, moves water. The sun delivers solar energy and tons and tons and tons of solar radiant energy that the body uses. And the in between is the break. The opportunity to cool off. I can cool off. If you can't experience the duality and the waves of energy that bring forth your best self, you're going to find the timing and the opportunity for you to learn how to gain those things. I challenge those who want to be challenged. I irritate those who want to be irritated. I charm those who want to be charmed. It's all how you experience it. But it's not me who's irritating, charming, or elucidating, or even educating. It's you who does it with your own mind and the gifts you were given. Because God is within you to do that. The ocean is within you to know what it is and to bring forth its best self. It's already healing. It's already regenerating. It's already educating you. And you are the experience of itself, educating itself or yourself. The body is alive with intelligence. DNA that talks to your head, which is part of itself. And you're being educated by your own body and your own brain. And you go, oh my God, I'm learning. Yeah, you're being educated. You're being learnt into. Leaned into. It's all being upgraded because that's how the universe works. The planets keep spinning around. The wandering stars keep moving. It's all a perfect clock up there. It's all moving. It's on a dais, as you know. Every 12,000 years there's a new cycle, right? These astrological bodies don't change for 12,000 years, 20,000 years. They're the same astrological bodies. Could NASA be wrong? Are we just flying through space in chaos and everything's expanding? The astrological bodies wouldn't stay the same. So let's not believe NASA is real. You think NASA is real? Go watch NASA's own video on the Orion Space Project. O-R-I-O-N, Orion Space Project. He will tell you they've never been past high Earth orbit. He's a NASA employee, NASA engineer. Never been past high Earth orbit. They can't get past the Van Allen belts. They've never been higher than high Earth orbit because they have to go through the Van Allen belts twice. Once on the way to the moon, once back. And they've never gotten through there ever. This is a 2015 video. Never gotten through the Van Allen belts because their instruments would fall apart and the shielding wouldn't survive. The shielding would be put to the test. He says in the video, the shielding would be put to the test. Because we've never gotten through the Van Allen belts where instruments could handle the traveling through the radiation of the Van Allen belts, and certainly no living thing could make it through those. Oh, what happened in the 1960s? We did that 4 or 5 or whatever time. No, we didn't. So if that's a challenge to you, welcome to the challenge. Because when you come here, not only will you be told that you better double check on that moon landing crap, better check on that NASA crap, because now they're saying they didn't go. You better check on your animal diet crap. Is your water safe because Fauci said so? Is your water safe because your government said so? Is your animal diet necessary because the Weston A. Price Foundation, Weston A. Price, W-E-S-T-I-N, A, Price, like Price is right, but it's not. Weston A. Price Foundation goes, you need cholesterol because we were a dentist. And it was multiple people, spiritually. And we discovered, because I know these things. It's okay to admit this. We have spirits, right? It's okay to know things intuitively, right? And he goes, we need cholesterol as humans to survive. No, because how can I be getting better with no cholesterol in my diet, except that which I make? Then we need cholesterol. You need a lot of cholesterol, as much as you need. The more damage you have, the more cholesterol you need. Less damage, less cholesterol required. As a vegan, I look like I'm low testosterone. I look like my connective tissue's falling apart. I have no muscle mass. I look like I'm atrophying. I have no strength. Like I don't have capacity or power. You know, do I have that? Of course not. I have power. I have speed. I have power. I have agility. I can move quick. So, why would the Health Educators Alliance, who I just ended my relationship with as Health Educators Alliance anti-aging experts, spent a year and a half with them to see what they could teach me, and they couldn't learn from me. But they sure thought they knew everything. And they did not look so great at 60. And they thought plant-based eating was something to mock on stage repeatedly, despite talking to the guy who was the biggest, highest testosterone guy in the room with no TRT therapy, TRT testosterone replacement therapy, no creams, no patches for testosterone, no gels for testosterone, just a good diet and a good lifestyle. And my testosterone, when I was winning contests, was the one time it was 270 with my testosterone when I won my show in 1999. I was inflamed beyond words. I was in shape, but I was inflamed beyond words. And I was tight, and I was in pain. So if I could grow after winning, at that time, my third contest at the state level in rugby bodybuilding, beating a guy who was Corey Everson's co-star. I don't beat anybody, by the way. The judges awarded the victory to me over Corey Everson's co-star. Corey Everson, 5-time Miss Olympia. On ESPN Body Shaping 1 and 2. Remember the old TV shows? Body Shaping, ESPN? Great man, Tony Chambers. Tony Chambers. He was second in that show. 3-2 was the vote. She came to give him first prize. Dennis Hagee was good friends with these people. He was the chairman. Dennis Hagee was the chairman for the NPC, Team Universe, the drug-free version of the NPC contest. And I showed up and happened to win the contest. Mr. No Name. He's co-star in Hawaii, flying to Hawaii twice a month to shoot shows the guy's fit. The guy's incredibly well fit. Beautiful body, beautiful man, beautiful human being. Runs a gym up in Johnson, Wisconsin, near the Northern Kettle Moraine. After I beat words, because that's how it's seen, after the victory was awarded to me, I said to his wife, because I didn't think he was open to it, I said, well, he's talented. He has tremendous muscle mass. He could have beat me if he'd posed differently, and maybe his diet. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. He called me. So if you're still watching the video, and you go, I'm open to learning, here's a guy who just called the guy who, quote, was given the win over him, defeated, whatever, given the win over him at the contest. He goes, I want to learn from you. He says, would you come out to my gym and teach me how to pose better? And teach all my guys? I'll pay you. He paid me to come out to his gym, drive north, and train 8 guys. He said, can we all get names? He took 8 guys. He goes, yeah, we're all here to learn from you. Because you obviously represent success on this issue. And we think you can teach us. So what do we owe you? And thank you. And he was very gracious. I spent time in, I had no gym. I had no gym at the time. He had a tremendously beautiful gym. He was financially set. In a giant club, beautiful gym attached to it. Really well outfitted. Barefoot water skiing champion, wrestler, incredible fit athlete. I'm showing up as a cross-country skinny kid who managed to do a bodybuilding show and happened to win 3. I was in shape. Cortisol, low testosterone, still, through my will and drive and I managed. Later on, not only 2 years later, he won the entire Mr. Wisconsin in incredible shape, mind-blowing shape. Like, whoa, this guy looks like a little army bot figure. He doesn't even look human because he was that much leaner and that much better posing. So yeah, he took it, he used it. He won that championship in 2001. That was 1999. Then he won the championship in 2001. I went to watch him. He was phenomenal. Very nice. And then he sent me clients. He sent me a guy who was a teenager, 17 in high school, in about 2015, wanted to compete. And he said he's never done a show before, but You're the guy who's going to help him dial in for the contest. He needs to get dialed in posing in diet. They sent the guy to me, and he's 17. And he said, okay, your dad's a hunter, and you're going to eat fish, and okay, I don't worry about the plant-based thing. Just go with that. Go with what you're doing. Here's how you pose. Your legs look great. Upper body. You need some confidence. Here's the presentation. He's a young kid. Middleweight. Teenager. He enters the Open. He wins the middleweight Open plus the team category. Do you know how hard the middleweight Open category is in drug-free bodybuilding in Wisconsin? I did it pretty fast. Do you know how hard the middleweight championship is in drug-free bodybuilding in Wisconsin? It's probably the toughest category. They're all lean, and they all are hungry because they're not tall. They want to be 6 feet. You're 6'1", I don't need bodybuilding, I feel tall. 6 foot tall, not a lot of people want to, 6'5", why bodybuild? You know what I mean? Come on, you're already tall. What do you need? Small people tend to want to bodybuild. It's okay. It's okay. I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. There's big guys that bodybuild, small guys bodybuild. Now there's some tall people that bodybuild. Doesn't matter. But back then, that's especially true that back then it was a lot of middleweights. And the guy said, thanks a lot. He sent me pictures. Phenomenal. What did I know? I knew how to create in him nothing. I knew if I spoke the right truth, within him would be created, I could say. All the confidence, all the awareness, all the presence, all the skill he needed to pose just so, to move with confidence, with head position, with joy, with presence, with magnitude, with magnificence, that he could not mesmerize, not enchant, but present to the audience in a way that Source was expressing through him more beautifully. Don't I wish that upon it? If Source expressed to all of us more beautifully, isn't it a better world? So when you build that little sandcastle, are you building a Source building? You're one with it. How could you be anything but that? Your DNA is going to have a certain expression. You're going to have a certain type of pigment or melanin content, a certain type of gender. The pigment and melanin content does not go away. Your gender does not go away. Your XY chromosome or XX. Let's face it. That's it. You might be XXY or XYY because you have an extra chromosome, but it doesn't make you the opposite. So sorry. This is the way it works. I can't declare myself Inuit because I want to be Inuit. I can't declare myself a bat or a lizard because I can do this. That does not make me a lizard. No matter how much I want to be one. What you are is you're in human form and you're given a gift. Your job is for that gift to flow through you. Enchant yourself. And when you're enchanted, things come through you. The expression is natural. The abundance is naturally present. If that's happening, I did my job today. If it's happening, you also did your job today. Because if I speak to it, but you don't allow it, the fault was not in me. The fault would be in the person as the observer. That's why it's called a sin, which means you're missing. Sin is to miss the target, be missing something or omitting something you need, or have the presence of something you do not need. Those are two options. Either you're blocking it or it's not flowing yet. There should be no sin. There should be no shortcoming. There should be no missing element. There should be no extra blockage to that. There should be no extra contamination in that process. That means it flows perfectly. And therefore there is no sin. There's only the perfect enchantment and the perfect rhythm and the perfect flow of the universe's intelligence expressed through DNA. This whole video is a tremendous spell as a gift from the universe into you, from the ocean into its own drop. Have you felt it? Have you received it? Have you allowed it? It's a beautiful thing when you do. I recommend that you permit yourself to be the gift that you experience. And as you move yourself into the greatest capacity for success, enduring success, and well-being. And that process will put you in a state that is desirous of more in balance with nature, and with this difficult realm we face sometimes. with the capacity to have the agility and the emotional intelligence and the intellect to navigate this wild world we're in that has been so disaffecting to our very nature. Flowers do not put on little coats and little petticoats and try to look pretty. We have to wear clothes in this culture, I get it. We have to have things we own, things we possess. They should not possess us. It's okay if the body possesses you for a moment. It's okay if your mind possesses you for a moment. But you have to navigate that space. You give it room to sense what it's telling you and make the best possible decision. So now I'll hang out with the extra whole half hour and hope that you all watch the video. So bye-bye now. Again, Better Results Personal Training, Doug Bates signing off. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Did it turn off? I don't think it turned off. It'll turn off soon. Did it turn off? I hope it turned off. I'll turn it off again. I think it won't turn off. Let me try this.